All right, team. This is your host, Charles Becco, and today we will be talking about the apocalypse portfolio. So, this list is about understanding how humans behave under pressure. You know, every empire, it rises, it hits a peak, it stresses, then there's inflation, then there's resource shortages, currency fears, wars, then supply chain fractures. And when that happens, capital and money has to run somewhere. This episode is some of the likely areas that capital may run if the apocalypse or, you know, at least a crisis is upon us. All right. All right. All right. Now, you know what's crazy? Most people think that the stock market is disconnected from reality. But during crisis periods, the market actually becomes more connected to reality than you could ever think. I've said for a very long time, before something happens in the world, it happens in the stock market, right? And so one of the things that was strange is that for all time, gold was like the grandma asset, right? It was moving really slow. And then in 2023, it like spiked to an all time high of 2000. But that wasn't really the thing, right? In less than 2.5 years, gold doubled. And gold is not supposed to move like a meme stock. And so if you look between 2024 to 2025 and 2026, you see a lot of things happening. I mean, again, numerous noteworthy assassinations, wars, rumors of war in Iran. I mean, just it's just so much. It's hard to keep up with it all, you know. But one thing the stock market helps us do, it helps us kind of identify the things that really matters to civilization, right? And what are those things? It's food, it's water, it's fuel, it's security, and it's hard assets. It's not about social media. It's not about influencers. It's not about luxury items or big fancy cars or houses. Not hype, not luxuries, okay? Not, X's and O's on some balance sheet that no one will ever see because most of the money is all digital, right? It's about real things that are in the world, okay? And so that's what this portfolio is pretty much built around, all right? So our first pick is going to be FO, okay? This ETF tracks water, okay? Why do we like it? Water is one of those things nobody thinks about until you can't get it. And once the system starts running out, once you start having droughts, which is currently happening in various parts of the Midwest, has been an ongoing, consistent problem in California forever. And Chase just built a huge skyscraper that comes fully equipped with at least 3 days of water and oxygen in the middle of New York. Why would they need something like that? Think about it. Okay. So, water is more than a utility story, it's more about survival. Now, FO isn't sexy, but neither was oil in 1905 at not $100 a gallon. Okay. Water is the infrastructure that literally builds civilizations. Okay. And if you remember from, gosh, what's the name of the movie now? You see, this is what happens when you go off script, right? Um, dang, it was basically the Michael Burry story. I'm not even gonna try to think about it, but basically, Michael Burry, who predicted the stock market crash of 2008, he kind of called out the derivatives market, pretty much the subprime market with real estate. He's investing in water, and that film came out 15 years ago, right? And so I regularly talk to my broker, and many of the support people are out there in Utah, in Colorado, and they're hurting for water. In several places in Africa and Asia, there are water shortages. Middle East, constant problem. All right. So we like the stock here on FO. All right. Didn't have a chance to pull it up, but let's just take a look at the FO chart really quickly. All right. Sorry, it's very late here, but we're gonna make it work out. We're gonna look at the weekly chart, 10 years, and yeah, I mean, guys, I mean, something like this should be kind of sideways or maybe slightly aggressive. But yeah, I mean, Foe just hit an all time high, right? So yeah, maybe this is something that we should all be considering, right? All right. Next up on this list is SLV, and that is silver. Okay. Silver is fascinating because it lives in two worlds at once. It's part a monetary weapon. Sorry. It's part a monetary metal, and it's an industrial weapon. Silver is a key ingredient in a lot of electronics that we use today, like solar, military systems, and AI infrastructure. Right? So if inflation hits hard and industrial demand rises, silver can move quickly and violently. If gold is the bunker, silver is the knife fight, right? So let's look at a chart of silver. Sorry, I really should have had this all ready. I mean, okay, we had a kind of violent eruption, went back into a kind of a range here, but yeah, I mean, silver looks like it's kind of setting up. I mean, we went from a low volume squeeze to a high volume squeeze, and the MACD's curling on the weekly time frame, right? Look at the daily. Yeah, silver looks like it's kind of setting up here. Okay, it looks like it found a floor between 68 and 63. So yeah, look out for SLV. Had some good call outs on it recently in the Discord. We'll let you know about that later. All right. So SLV. Next up on the list is our ETF called DBA. DBA tracks agriculture. Okay. Now, you can delay buying an iPhone. You cannot delay eating. That's the difference. Okay. Um, so I want to take a pause here, and I kind of want to go off the rails, which I really shouldn't, but there's been a whole lot of talk about fertilizer and famine and food shortages, and this is kind of no surprise. There's been a lot of fantastic research that's been out there for many years, and yeah, it's just become very real. I mean, beginning with the war in Ukraine, right? It was kind of understood that Ukraine and parts of Russia was responsible for a good amount of the world's potash, right? Potash is used for fertilizer, and so potash, also wheat, and since that Ukraine war, it's kind of been in the books that this could kind of set off a chain of events that may cause a famine, right? And from there, just this whole Strait of Hormuz thing has kind of made things even more crazy. Let's get back on track, right? And so, yeah, DBA is the ETF that tracks agriculture. Okay, Um, yeah, I mean, fertilizer shortages mixed with gasoline shortages, shipping spikes, and you also have the weather that in some areas have been kind of favorable. It's kind of been advantageous to some of these headwinds we've been facing. But yeah, food prices have been moving fast. I mean, I seen a TikTok video the other day where a guy uh, basically showed that he went to Costco, ordered three steaks in a pack, and it was $65. So is real nominal inflation really between 3 and 4% at $65 for three steaks? I mean, I don't think so. All right. So DBA gives us exposure to pretty much the backbone of human survival, right? Corn, wheat, livestock, and other soft commodities, right? And so, yeah, I mean, you want to have exposure to this, all right? Next on our list is XLE, which is the ETF that tracks energy, okay? People underestimate energy because modern life, it just, we're kind of spoiled. We've been spoiled to think that utilities will just be around forever. I think that within the last 50 to 70 years of just having pretty much a stable economy that was kind of booming, we kind of took it for granted that for thousands of years, food insecurity, energy insecurity, water insecurity, I mean, these are real problems that human beings have been struggling for thousands of years. And I don't think we really understand how fragile some of these systems really are, right? And so we started lobbing missiles at each other, fighting over cultural issues or Instagram or Twitter beefs. I mean, life could unravel pretty quickly if cooler heads don't prevail. Okay, but everything runs on energy, right? Transportation, manufacturing, defense, AI, data centers, food systems, even healthcare. I mean, you need electricity to light hospitals, and you need gas and oil to heat hospitals, right? So when energy prices spike, the entire economy feels it pretty much instantly, all right? And historically, when the world gets unstable, energy companies become money printers, right? So definitely look at XLE. Um, oh, I neglected to look at the DBA chart. See, that's what happens when you're all talking about all this extra stuff. We forgot to look at DBA. All right, so we'll just do a twofer here. Let's look at DBA. I mean, yeah, right? Again, guys, gals, people, places, things. I mean, again, this is supposed to be that's very something that's supposed to be very boring. I mean, 2020, look at DBA, right? Guys, this is agriculture, right? And so, can we? Is there like an all-time button? Let's look at the monthly. Oof, when was this? Well, that's 2007, 2008. I mean, guys, look. I mean, look at DBA in 2008, right? I mean, financial world collapses. Boom, there you go. I mean, I mean, what more do you need, right? So that's DBA. Let's look at XLE here, right? Yeah, and this is oil. Max chart on oil here, all right? Guys, do the math. Do the math. I mean, this is all in the charts again. Before things happen in the world, right? Before people start launching missiles at each other, before laws change, before you start hearing Senate hearings and Congress hearings, before earnings reports show up. I mean, you see it in the stock market. You see it in the charts. Okay, you follow the charts will tell you the truth. Okay, the charts will let you know what's really happening in the world. And guys, this is why I dedicated part of my life to studying and following the stock market. This is why I went to college twice and got 2 degrees, so I could look and understand this stuff. Okay, these charts are more than just numbers. I mean, these bar graphs are graphing life itself here on Earth, right? So you got to be paying attention. All right, so that's DBA and that's XLE. Let's go right back to the program. All right. Next up on our list is ITA. All right. ITA tracks, it's an ETF that tracks aerospace and defense. Okay. So one of the darker truths of history is that, you know, governments almost never reduce defense spending even if they're about to go bankrupt. I mean, defense is like the last thing that you cut, right? And during times of uncertainty, defense spending goes crazy, right? And so, pretty much they increase it. I mean, fear is a good expander of budgets. I mean, look at 9/11, right? Look at how many, uh, freedoms and privileges we lost because of a singular event, right? And whether it's drones, missiles, satellites, cyber warfare, naval power, defense contractors sit right in the middle of all that cheddar flow, right? And so ITA is basically a basket of companies that represent the modern security apparatus. All right, so let's look at the ITA chart. Okay, I hope you guys are like really following all this, and I hope you really are taking all of this very seriously. All right, so here's ITA. All right, I mean, listen, I know a lot of stock market charts look like this, but I mean, even up to 2023, right? And then look at 2024. I mean, think about this. Like, we've been flat all this time, right? And then 2024, and here we are, ITA. Guys, this is a big breakout, right? For people who are chart theorists, right? So this is the weekly 10 years out on ITA. All right. Next up on this list is PDBC. Give me some of that PDBC. All right. All right. So what is it? It's an ETF that tracks, okay, pretty much a lot of commodities plus gold. Okay. It's a basket of gold, silver, metals, agriculture. So let's say if you don't want to buy, you know, two or three of these things, you could just buy PDBC. Okay. That should give you everything, right? Gives you exposure to oil, again, metals, agriculture. And so PDBC tracks broad hard assets, okay? Uh, GLD, is in there too. And so, yeah. So that is what PDBC charts, all right? And let's look at the chart here on PDBC. All right. All right, so it seemed like we had a spike between 2001 and 2022, and it looks like we're kind of rushing back up there. Again, this is a weekly 10-year chart on PDBC. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, asset 7 is gold. I mean, I shouldn't have to talk about why you need GLD. Many of you guys would just be trading GLD anyway, right? So here's a chart on GLD. I mean, yeah, right? Again, right? Again. So remember what I said, right? From 2023. I mean, gold just dang. I mean, this literally looks like a penny stock, right? If this was like a penny stock, I'd be like, let's get out of this thing right away, right? But here's something. Let me just show you. Let me tell you something. Okay, this is it, guys. Right? This chart tells us that there is something fundamentally wrong and something fundamentally broken in the world's financial system. I cannot tell you what it is, right? And I especially can't tell you what it is because of this chart. Up, da, 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 da. The VIX, I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, given what's happening in the world, I have no idea why the VIX is this low. But the VIX this low means that, well, it doesn't mean it, but like, yeah, this is what's happening with the stock market, right? So all I know is that whenever whatever is supposed to happen, it's gonna be violent. It's gonna be sudden. It's gonna come out of nowhere. All crashes usually are preceding a blow off top stock market, right? And so all the way up, all the way down. I mean, sorry, the adage says that the stock market takes the staircase up, but takes the elevator down, right? So guys, you got to be watching out, all right? Again, GLD should not be moving like a penny stock, should not be moving like a meme stock, right? And so, yeah, I mean, this gold has been one of the most stable asset classes in human history, and the fact that it like more than doubled within 2 years is terrifying because gold is usually a measure for inflation, right? And so yeah, I believe gold is telling the truth, and I believe everyone else is lying. So please believe what your eyes are seeing on this chart, okay? Because this tells me something is wrong. Something is wrong in a huge way. And yeah, guys, just be sitting on a large cash position. Or if you're out there swinging zero DTE Tesla options like a lot of you like to do, right? Just have your finger on the trigger button, to kind of get up out of them things because guys, something is just wrong. Something is wrong. I have my ideas, right? But again, I do deep dive long format articles for a reason, right? I am writing an article about gold, right? And so, yeah. Again, follow me on Medium. Between Medium and my LinkedIn is pretty much my only social media exposure. So, yeah, I'll see you there. All right, so that is gold. And here we got some lottos here. And yeah, I mean, because the VIX is so low, I mean, yeah, you could just go right to the chart and just copy some VXX, right? Okay, the chart looks like this. Why? Because, you're not supposed to be just kind of sitting in these things. I mean, again, VIX is all the way down here. And this is a leveraged asset, people, so these things you're not just supposed to be like sitting in it forever. You can't like buy it, come back in 5 years and expect, your portfolio to be through the moon. You bought this and you're holding this for 5 years, you're gonna be clapped, right? I mean, you know, you kind of hit a low, market hits a high, you start, trimming your portfolio, and then maybe throw 5, 10, maybe 15 to 20% of your portfolio into something like this, right? And then, when you have the sudden violent, moves, you could kind of hedge your portfolio. Again, don't get clapped, not financial advice. Please watch yourself, all right? So, again, this is not investing. This is more like tactical chaos exposure, right? These instruments can explode, they can do nothing, but they decay pretty quickly, all right? So this is not something you want to hold in your retirement plan, right? And so, final thoughts. I mean, every civilization strives for stability, right? But stability is created when the right things are happening, right? The right legislation, you know, conservative ideas, values, you know. And I'm not making a political statement. I mean, like financial moderation, right? But what are people doing? People are maxing out credit cards. People are running scams. People are stealing to fulfill this kind of ultra luxurious facade that has seemed to dominate most of society. I mean, even just figures in the government. It's almost like not like public service officials; they're like celebrities, right? Um, I have a lot of thoughts on society, none of which I will bore with you here. But yeah, guys, I mean, the set of circumstances that took down the Roman Empire, the Babylonian Empire, the Egyptian Empire, even unseated Britain from its place of authority, even France, right? I mean, these things kind of follow the same metrics, right? Too much spending on war, financial irregularities, printing money, stretching yourself too thin, and just not investing in the lower classes, right? And I don't know, but what I do know is that if you want exposure to the things that will more than likely keep society together, you want food, you want water, you want energy, you want metals, you want to be involved in the security apparatus in some form of way, or at least have your have a slingshot or something handy. You got to get it together, people. All right. um yeah, be invested in hard assets, okay, because chaos is everywhere, right? I would like to quote DMX right now, but DMX is dead. Rest in peace, DMX. Instead, just don't get clapped. Watch yourselves, okay? If you do not have, at least 3 months of cash on hand, or 6 months, if you're maxed out on several credit cards, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're still gonna book that vacation on Klarna or some kind of buy now pay it later system, guys, I am talking to you. All right, be invested in moderation, practicality, self-control, self-discipline. All right, because the market already knows what the public is ignorant to. This is Charles Becco, your friend from BrooklynTraders.net. Be safe out there.